All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. Hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing now is Mahomes, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. This is going to be a good one-on-one battle to watch. Both of these guys play the game at the highest level.
Both of them are terrific competitors. They play the game with great athleticism and smarts as well.
And in this early round, the defense wins. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 12 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here, 2nd and a yard from the 34. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Mike 50, Mike 50. Watch the run. Under 10, under 10, 10.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Flushed out right. Going right side here, and that's complete. A good pickup there, a 22.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. Now, on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. Looking right sideline, that's complete. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll drop the throw. He's going to walk one deep left side, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. In for the score. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And out come the Chiefs now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those script...
That's caught inside the 20. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. So here are the Raiders now to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well.
Switch gears. Switch. Check 52.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 36 yards on the play.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better talk to your boy. I'm going to protect you.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. This is taken at the 18.
Come on now, let's go.
Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score.
Switch up. Watch the eye. Check. Hatchet.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 52 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Back to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 6. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
That's how we do it.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Mahomes now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He'll take it at the 42. Upon a 46, a return of 5. And that will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far.
51, Mike 51.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. With touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. With them losing here in the 2nd quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right? Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. all receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Second down and inches. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. And the pressure gets to him again. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50! We own it!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This is caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. It's caught inside the 25. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Check Mike, check Mike.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. 51.
2nd and 14. And it'll be intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're... All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He'll drop to throw. He's going to lock one deep left side here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A big play there. 63 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Chiefs are in for 6. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just 1 play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. Remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 30-yard line.
Chance. Whip. Watch the whip.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And an alley to run. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 42 yards.
53, come on. 53, check 53.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack comes from Anthony Hitchens. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Second and long. Buying time to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll still have a third and goal now, despite picking up 13 yards on that pass play. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And now here comes Kansas City. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
A pretty big opening there on first down. 8 yards up to the 33. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's second and 2. Here's a second and 2 now from the 33. To throw, it's Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't it?
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Taking it about the 16. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He has had a whale of a game. In the third quarter, you're already over 200 yards. I don't know what more he can do at this point.
Not a whole lot, and what he has found is that zone that we always talk about, where every carry feels great. Every carry potentially is a sprint to the end zone, and all he wants to do is ride it as long as this game goes on.
Yeah, now he's just thinking 300 yards maybe. Once again, it's Jacobs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Back to throw now on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. And sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey. We got three.
Here's a carry for the fullback. That's Anthony Sherman. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Dodges him at the 50. 12 yards on the return that time.
We play to win. Let's go. Number 53. Check. Check.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. 48 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Carlson now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now here's Mahomes, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. The Chiefs on third down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never play their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Fielded at the 33. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
First down, Raiders.
36. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. They'll run on first down. Jacobs. He'll have another first down and more. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Good work after the catch. Going to net them 23 and a first. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to go down again. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. Taken in at the 22. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Check, crunch, crunch, crunch. Rush in, rush in, rush in.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's caught at the 25. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. Here's Coleman on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now on 2nd and 13, Mahomes. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. from the gun on third down. Mahomes. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. Here's Mahomes to throw. This is brought in by Gibson. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One final try for Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Raiders, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.